Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name's Justin, and today we're going to be reviewing the Everyday filter by Shortstache. So the Shortstache collection of filters comes in two strengths, the Everyday and then the Miss PL version. The Everyday is a quarter strength and the Miss PL is half strength. So the Black Pro Mist helps keep the contrast in your pictures without it looking too washed out. So honestly, I didn't really know what I would use the polarizer plus mist combo for, but after using it, I will have to say that it is a nice combination to just have there on your camera. I was able to use this filter, the Everyday, during a wedding, and it did clear up some of the sky, it made it visible, and got rid of that polarized light, and it also added that mist effect to my pictures and video, and it looked really nice. I really did like the look that this filter was giving me. As for the Miss PL, I did get to use this one on a different wedding, so the comparisons won't really be the same, but I did get to use them. I didn't get the sun in the back just how I wanted to, but I did try to exaggerate and put the lens and the posing in a position that the filter would be able to show its effect at its strongest. But I will have to say that with the Miss PL at a half strength, you can definitely tell the effect, even when you're not shooting into, something backlit, like with lights in the back to get that mist filter effect. Even just slapping this on this already really softens up the image. So I would say that the Miss PL is too heavy for my taste. It is a look, and I guess if you wanted to use it every now and then, you could put this on there, but compared to the Everyday, which is a quarter strength filter, I would say that this has less practical uses and maybe would get exhausting to use this filter a lot faster than the Everyday quarter strength. So let's go ahead and open this up. And the Everyday comes in this clamshell case. It's just the filter, and there you go. It's got this little foam in it to keep it protected, and that's kind of where my problems with this start, because this is supposed to be the Everyday filter, and their marketing is kind of put it on your lens and keep it on there forever. So if I go ahead and put these on there, I got these in 82 millimeters just because that's usually the biggest thread size that I have. And then I just use step-up rings for my smaller lenses, so that way I can buy one filter and put them on all my lenses. So it's on there. It's got this nice little green color. I quite like it. Now, Everyday filter, right? You're supposed to keep it on there because it's practical. It's there when you need it and gone when you don't. The polarizer, it's polarizing whenever you need that effect, cut through glass, reflection, stuff like that. And then the Black Pro Mist will create that soft look and halation from highlights in your picture, but it still kind of softens the image. So it gets rid of that digital edge that people claim to use these type of filters for. With the combination though of polarizer and mist, you do lose a stop of light from the polarizer itself being on your lens. So if you're in a really dark situation, keep that in mind. Otherwise, I don't really mind shooting with my ISO cranked up to make up for the loss of the polarizer stop. Having it on there is pretty practical and nice, so I won't really complain too much about that. So back to this absolutely fantastic clamshell foam thing. It's my least favorite part, because if this is supposed to be the Everyday filter and you just put it on and leave it on your camera because it's perfect, or so their marketing says, for that exact same situation, why didn't they ship it with one of these? So this is the Peter McKinnon Mist Edition Variable ND version 2. And it has this kind of rubber cap on it that lets you protect the filter while it's on your lens. So if I go ahead and I remove this, you can see that, boom, can you see it? So this is the filter itself. On the back is a little base for it to screw back onto, and this is the cap that I was talking about. This is pretty nice because when you're moving around your camera, you can just put this cap that's plastic and rubberized and hard on the outside to protect your filter, and you can just put it back on there and you can travel like that, right? So the idea would be that you'd have one of these, right? Put this aside for now. And you'd be able to take this Everyday filter, right? And take one of these and do this number right here. Boom, you see that? You see how I can put that cap on there, and this would be the perfect Everyday setup. And you might say, well, it came with the variable ND Miss Pro version 2, whatever. Okay, maybe they didn't think of that. Maybe that packaging was different. Well, you're wrong, because they actually did the same type of packaging and included a cap with the variable ND Mark I, which is the very first Polar Pro product I ever got. So if I put this to the side real quick and bring out this little bad boy right here. So this is the Peter McKinnon 82mm 2 to 5 stop variable ND filter, regular. It's not mist or whatever. And look, it comes in the same clamshell, right? But if I open it, look what's in there. Wow, it is a little Defender cap. And if I pull it out, right behind there is the filter itself. So here's the little clamshell, and right here is the filter covered up by one of those Defender pieces. Right there, you see that? So they could have done it. They could have given you one of these caps to go with your filter, but why wouldn't they have included a... It's because they have a whole line of Defender caps that they would love to sell you. And while yes, these do have different added features like being able to put an air tag, an SD card in it, whatever, it still kind of blows my mind that they didn't think about this combination right here. Kind of feels scummy that they're selling a solution to a problem they made, because if you follow the marketing, it's all about leaving the day on there, and as the name of the filter itself implies, you can have it every day and use it, and it's the perfect filter. Well, then why didn't you include one of these? That's kind of gross to not put one of these in there. I get it. The variable ND is at a different price point compared to the Shortstache, but just make it a combo and just make it right from the start. Like, why would you make people have to buy one of these besides wanting to sell your product, whatever. But why are you creating a problem and then selling the solution? That's the thing that kind of irritated me with this, was that I already have some of these. So for me, it's not too bad. It's not the end of the world, whatever. But if you're someone that is following the message and the marketing of the everyday filter and keeping it on your lens and having it always there, why didn't you all just throw one of these in there? Like, it would have been so easy to just give your customer base a little extra something to make the product just that much better, instead of nickel and diming them and hoping that they buy one of your lens Defender caps. Which, by the way, when I was placing my order for this product, it did not prompt me to buy one of these, which, good on them, I guess. But if I want to keep this on there all the time, I'll have to buy something like this if I didn't have one. If you want to try putting your included lens cap on there, well, that's not really gonna work because there's not really much room for it to go on there. And also, I don't want it to run around on the cap and maybe scratch the filter. Just doesn't feel natural. Like, yes, you could do it like I'm doing it right here, but they could have included the cap to go with it, just how they did with the variable ND Mark I. This is something you could do, whatever, I get it, but it would have been nice and would have made the filter feel that much special if they just gave you a Defender cap to go right alongside the packaging. Now, in terms of packaging, Polar Pro keeps it really simple like they always do. And then one thing that got me, and I don't know if I'm the only one, did no one test this when they were giving these out and like, hey, check this out? I saw this cutout and I wanted to go like this and pull it out, but I couldn't, because if I wiggle in, there's still a piece of paper behind it around this crescent. So I think it would have just been really slick to be able to do this number here where, oh, this crescent, well, wow, let me just pull it out like this. Small thing, you know, whatever. Some people can use their brain, and I was stuck on this for a solid 2 to 3 seconds, okay? Like, I genuinely struggled with this. Minor inconvenience, but just something that made a bump in the unboxing experience if they want some feedback on that. And then in this box is where the actual case for the filters itself will be, and right here will be where your filter will be, and that's it. So in terms of the mist PL, I would say definitely skip on this one. The effect is really pronounced and honestly kind of isn't for me, which is, you know, I can always bring this back out and put it on my lens whenever I want to have that really strong mist effect, and I do like that look a lot. But I would say for the price you're paying for having both of them, you could always just have the everyday filter, and in post, and I know I hate saying do it in post, but you could always exaggerate the effect that the everyday filter is giving you with this quarter strength mist in post, and you could always dial it, you know, the way you like it, versus having the half strength on there. You're kind of stuck to having that intensity, and maybe there might be some pictures you might like it or not. I get it, commit to the look you put on there and commit to whatever lens and look you're going for, but if you're kind of wanting a little bit of flexibility, I'd say that everyday is probably the best choice for people just looking to pick up this polarizer plus mist combo. I really did notice putting the half strength filter on my camera. Even just looking on the back of the screen, I could immediately see every part of my image be soft, which is nothing wrong with that considering that, you know, it tells you exactly what it's gonna do, which is a half strength. But if you've never seen what that looks like, the half strength can be really strong. For the everyday filter, I use this filter during the end of a wedding to capture some photos of the bride and groom. I definitely feel like the filter did its job perfectly, just the right amount of halation, just the right amount of mist. And then the polarizer did help out with the sky a little bit, so I definitely noticed having that combination on there came through for me. And now for the mist and polarizer filter, I got to use it on a different wedding, so the comparison might not be, you know, exactly the same scene, but you can definitely still see the mist be very pronounced. I tried exaggerating the mist effect by getting down low and getting more of the sky in the shot, but I still noticed that even without a good light source behind my subject, the mist was definitely still softening up the image quite a bit, almost a little bit too much for my liking, but here's what those look like. So in conclusion, if you're looking to pick up a mist plus polarizer combo filter from Polar Pro, I would definitely say that you should probably buy the quarter strength mist plus polarizer everyday filter. Reasons being that the mist is just the right amount. I find it the perfect balance of it having the halation and the soft look without being too overbearing on the rest of the image. And if you ever needed to have a little bit more of that fuzzy glow, you could always tweak that in post and add it. I'm quite pleased with the everyday filter, except for the packaging decisions. I do wish that instead of just having this clamshell and then, you know, the filter just goes in here and, you know, this is all you got. I wish that they had given you the everyday filter and then put one of these in there. So one of these little caps, put it in here, right? And that would have been so much better. Obviously it doesn't close because it's not made for this setup right here. But you can see that it's a thing. They've done it in the past and they chose not to do it. I don't know why. With it being the everyday filter, it just makes so much sense to include one of these caps, even if it's a lower quality one. Just having anything on there to help people that buy this filter keep the filter and their lens protected as they move around and maybe not actively shooting photos or video could have been an even better experience. But like I said, they have another product line. They're hoping to sell you one of these on a separate purchase, but kind of seems shady to me, but oh well. And with that, that's my review of the Shortstache collaboration with Polar Pro, the everyday filter and the mist plus polarizer filter. I really love the everyday filter. I think it's a good addition to my lens kit. I think I'll definitely stick to just having one of these in my kit because having the polarizer always attached to my mist filter will take away one stop of light from each lens that I have this put on. So I'll probably just go ahead and buy 3 to 4 quarter strength mist filters from Polar Pro. I do think that the everyday filter is a really nice, incredible idea and it's fun to use. And it definitely got my creative mindset going a little bit more. I was trying to think of ways to use this filter, but I think the way to use this is just to have it on there and to add character to your lens. Obviously, the result from, you know, having the filter and the way it ends up on your sensor will be totally dependent on what lens you're using. So when it comes to that, the 24-70 f2.8s by Nikon, I think really handles any sort of flaring and artifacts really well. So that I think really helps with keeping the contrast and controlling the effect. It is really fun to put this on there, but I would say your mileage may vary depending on what lens you put this filter on. I really do love the way that it rendered on this 24-70, and I'm sure that the everyday filter will perform just as well on any of the other Nikon S grade lenses, because they're all just so fantastic. So depending on what lens you use, I really do believe that this could give you a different look. But right now, those are the examples with the 24-70 f2.8s. If you found this video useful, consider smashing that thumbs up button. And if you watched all the way to the end, consider subscribing to the channel to watch more videos like these. My name's Justin. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.